Good morning, stamping friends. Happy Friday again. I don't know about you, but our weeks go pretty fast. Oh, I can't believe it's already Friday. It's just crazy because I always say same thing every day, but all of a sudden it's Friday again. So I'm really trying hard to stick to my 10 o'clock Arizona time Facebook Lives and share some projects with you. What are you guys doing for Memorial Weekend? We are having a low-key day. Same thing, different day. We are just going to be poolside and barbecue and just have some family time. Maybe my daughter and her family will come over. They live really close to us, so we're just going to play it by ear, but just sticking pretty close to home. Well, we're almost at the end of May, and happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone. And we are starting to put our thoughts towards next month, which means new catalog. Aren't you excited to see this? Oh, wow. It is packed with beautiful things that you're gonna like, new tools, new stamps, and new colors. So I just wanted to share one more time that if you don't have a catalog, I would love to send them. They're just stacked in my house, ready to go. And if you're a local person, I have one for you. And if you're an online person, if you've ordered from me in the last 6 months, I would be happy to send one to you. And if you aren't a customer but would still like one, I'll just have you pay for shipping and then I'll send the catalog for free. So if you can just email me, and my email address is lorriheiling@gmail.com. Well, I'm going to flip this around. I'm sorry, this is always the awkward part, but I want to get started on our projects. And whoops, let me flip this. So like I said, next month we have a little holiday coming up. It is Father's Day. So my project today is going to be Father's Day related. Let me see if I have this towards the edge because I want my hands to be in here. All right, I think that's good. Let me put it down just a little bit more. I just always worry about that my projects are off the page. So, all right, that's good. Okay, here's my host code in case you see anything you like. I'd love for you to order from my Stampin' Up! Online store. First, I want to remind you of the first deadline coming up is my class to go. And this class features really fast. I know I've shown these a few times, but it's this cute little pizza box with a cutout window for candy or a treat inside. Then this kind of 3D-ish butterfly one, very simple format, but the detailed butterfly dresses it up. And this one with a really beautiful sentiment and kind of a fun fold there. And then the last one is one for someone who's going through a hard time. Oops, I got one more besides this. Sending healing hugs with a little band-aid to cover up the rip there. And then last is the little Zoom card. If any of you Zoom, this would be a great little card to send them. This one's for my husband because sometimes we Zoom with family, and so anyway, just a fun little card. So that deadline is on Monday, on Memorial Day. So if you would like this class to go, just go on to my website or my blog, and then here are the 4 different options ranging from the stamps and framelits, then just the stamp set, then just the make and takes cut for you with the PDF. All these come with the PDF, or if you just want the PDF. So just let me know. We're running out of days for sign-ups for this one. And then the other one I wanted to remind you of is my In Color Club, and I pulled all the paper so you can actually see what the colors look like. Aren't they pretty? Oh, they look so much better in person too. I really like the 5 colors that are going to be in for 2 years now. So in this club, you will get all these products, and you'll get 1 color group per month. So this is going to last 5 months. And that just kind of breaks down the pricing so you don't have to get it all at once, and you can look forward to you know, each color packet and the goodies that you'll get inside. And then the pricing, I've discounted. If you bought all these all together on your own, it would cost more individually, but it's $60 per month, and then you'll get priority mail shipping with that. Or if you want to, if you're local and want to pick it up, it's $55 per month. So just let me know if you're interested, and there's a sign up on my blog. All right, let's get to today's projects. The card we're going to make uses the stamp set, A Good Man. I was so glad this one held over for the next catalog, so you will find it in there. Isn't this awesome? Oh, look at all these fun little sentiments, and the images are so fun to color, and we're going to do some paper piecing today, and I'll show you how you do that. And this item number is 149270, and the card that we're going to make is this little relaxing dad here in the chair, and it says relax your way, and on the inside it says it's your day. So let's get started with this. First thing that you will need is an 11" by 4 1/4" piece of cardstock, and this is crumb cake, and you're just going to fold that in half after you've scored it on the halfway mark, which is 5 1/2 inches. And then you're going to take your paper trimmer, and you could hand cut this, but I like to be exact, and I don't cut the straightest. I'm used to this over at my table, so it looks backwards here. Okay, so I'm just going to lift this up, and you're going to want to trim off 1/2 inch. So I'm just looking at the 1/2 inch mark at the bottom, and I'm going to cut, but only cut to the fold line. And then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing at 1/2 inch and trim up to the fold line. It's hard to actually see where that fold line is at this angle, so I might have to snip it a little bit more. All right. Now you're just going to cut on the fold line where you cut it with the paper trimmer, and just have those meet. Whoops, don't rip it. It'll leave a little rip mark. Oh, all right, then we'll do the same to this side. And that's just going to make just a little bit more interest to the front of our card. Now, we just want to add DSP on the inside. This is from Best Dressed. You know that's my favorite paper. I use it the most. And I just cut this piece to 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And it's just going to go right smack on the back side of this card. And it should fit perfectly like that. There we go. Now to design the front of our card, we are going to take a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and this is 2 3/8 by, get this measurement, 3 11/16. Yeah. Talk about detail. The reason it is a really odd number is because I first used the framelit that is similar to this size, and I wanted the same border all the way around, and it's just really an odd size, so that's why I have the 11/16. So 2 3/8 by 3 11/16. You can see I had to write it on the back side because there's no way I would remember that number. All right, just put it right smack in the middle on dimensionals. We want to pop this up to give it a little bit of more interest. And then here's that cardstock, or that I cut using the stitched rectangle dies, and this is actually the one that is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. It's give or take, you know, a few centimeters or whatever. And then we're just going to stamp the main image, which is the relaxing guy. I'm sure this is what my husband wants to do this weekend, but he doesn't know I have my honey-do list ready to go for him. So maybe at 10 o'clock p.m. he can be in this position, but I'm just kidding. All right, so let's stamp that in Memento Black. Remember, you need to use Memento Black when you work with blends, otherwise it will run. All right, I seem to lean towards using the lightest colors. So light petal pink is actually my favorite color to color skin tone We do have an ivory that I've tried, and you could use ivory as well, but I just prefer light petal pink. I just think it looks closest to real skin tone. Now this is not Arizona skin. Everybody's a little bit more tan than this. This would be Minnesota skin because it's sunny and warm here all the time, so you can't help but escape the sun. All right, we'll make him barefoot, so. All right, and let's get his face and his neck. We won't put sunburn on him here. All right, now the next one we're gonna color is his hat, and I use the light and dark crumb cake. That's why I love these blends. You can, you know what, actually we don't have to color this because we are going to pop this. So I'll use those in a little bit here. We need to color his denim jeans, and this is light Night of Navy. So just color his pants in. You can see that I'm using the smaller end and not the brush end because these are really fine and detailed areas, and I don't want it to go into the skin. When I do larger areas, then I use the darker, or I mean the brush end. And then if you want, you can go and make some of these areas a little bit darker. I usually follow the lines, and then go one more time back with the lighter to kind of blend that area like that. All right, now I want to put some stripes in that Adirondack chair, so let's go dark navy, and we'll make it kind of a nautical chair here. So you just have to kind of be careful not to get into him. And you know, this is kind of like a watercolorish image, so sometimes you have to kind of make up your own lines because they aren't all connected. Do you know what I mean? So that looks good. All right, I think that's it for now. We're going to leave the shirt because I'm going to do paper piecing like I told you before, so we're just going to leave that for now. Now we can adhere this to the front of our card. And this one I just used regular snail. We don't need to pop this one up. Sometimes if you get it too popped up, then you're gonna have to put a second stamp on it. So we want this one to go regular flat mail with a 55-cent stamp. All right, looks kind of plain, but we're not quite done yet. Now we're gonna do that paper piercing, or I keep saying paper piercing, it's paper piecing. Tongue twister. All right, all you need is a tiny little scrap of white paper, and we are going to stamp our guy again. And we're just going to, all we need is his hat, so just aim for the hat on this one. And now we will take those crumb cake blends, and like I said, I always start with the lightest color and color the whole thing in like this. And then I go back with the darker one and just kind of follow the lines that are already there. That's kind of where I choose to shade. And then always finish it up with the light one more time, and that's what's going to kind of give it that final blending there. And don't go too much all over it. You want some parts light. Now, your favorite part, fussy cutting. Fussy cut means you go on your own around all these images, move the paper and not the scissors. It's really not that hard to do. This is a good thing to do when you're watching a movie, but you kind of can't have buttered popcorn when you're doing this because then you'll have spots and things like that on your paper. Now, just put one little dimensional, will fit perfectly on there. And let's put that on the front of the card. And we'll put that right where his hat goes. See how that's popped up? That just adds so much by doing it separate. If you would need fast and easy, go ahead and just put it on, or just color the image. Now we're kind of going to do the same thing for his shirt. I wanted his shirt to coordinate with our background paper, so I'm just going to aim for his whole shirt to be on there, and it doesn't matter if it goes off the page. You can save a little bit of paper there. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fussy cut that shirt out, and to save a little bit of time, I'm going to show you that I already cut this out like that. All right, now we want to just add some adhesive on the back. And it's like, just place it right on the front of him. And I didn't pop this up. We don't need his shirt popped up, just the hat. All right, now let's put the sentiment on. And I chose Relax Your Way, which is part of this stamp set. And then this is also from the rectangle stitched dies. And this is the 1.5 inch by 2.5 inch. And I used Night of Navy ink. We'll see how well I can line this up. I say the hardest part of Facebook Lives is lining up when you're looking at this at an angle, because normally I stand up and do this, and let me pull it down a little bit. I'll see how close I get. Pretty good. Usually I like to stamp it first and then cut it out, then you can really center it, but I didn't want to waste the time to use the big shot while I'm on camera here. So then you just snip a flag or a banner shape on that side. Whoops, that's not very straight. Let me do that again. There we go. All right, now we're just going to grab a couple of dimensionals. And here they are. You just need 2. You don't have to put a ton of dimensionals on these. 2 will hold it. Right, and then let's get the card and just place that kind of towards the bottom. I like the stitched theme going on here. And just like that. All right, now let's do the inside. The inside, we're just going to stamp It's Your Day in Night of Navy ink, but we want to put it on Whisper White cardstock, and again we're going to use those stitched rectangles. This one is 3 inches by 4 1/4, give or take a little bit. So let's just stamp It's Your Day up in this corner. And then I cut out the Adirondack chair, and this is from Colorful Seasons stamp set. And gosh, the name of the dies, where is my cheat sheet? I have a PDF of this that I will post on my website. And gosh, what is the name of that? I use them, Seasonal Layers. And this die set is so awesome because you get every season in it, you know, fall, winter, spring, and summer. And this is one of the summer dies, but it's really a nice one. You know, every year when I go through my get rid of sale, all my retired things, I always seem to pull a few things that I'm not quite willing to part with. And this may be one of them, just because they have so many things, and you know, you never know what the new holiday catalog will have, or if you're going to be guaranteed to have every snowflake or whatever. So sometimes I like to hang on to ones if I'm not sure. Then from that same stamp set, we have Colorful Seasons, and we are going to grab the Daffodil Delight ink pad, and I just stamped this, whoops. Oh, it's not going to stick. So what I do with this is, and this is not an uncommon thing that happens. This is an older set, so it's the, not the Klingon, you know? And so sometimes small images like this have a hard time sticking. So I usually just put a little bit of snail on there, because we do not want that to fall in the middle of our project while we're working on it. So I'm glad that happened, because it happens to me a lot. And now you can see what I do. Not a big deal. So we're just going to stamp it like this. And again, you know me, I'm a little bit anal. So I didn't like everything being yellow. And there's actually a die that goes with this. So what I did was I took Daffodil Delight marker, and I'm just going to color in some lemonade here, because I want my glass white. And then I even trimmed off the straw, because I already stamped it and I don't need the straw on there. So I just cut off the little straw there. And then we'll add one more little dimensional. And I think we're gonna trim this one in half because it's a little bit big for this. And we're working Barbie size here, right? I gotta take advantage of my pick tool. It's just an extension of your hand. There we go. Take off that tiny little back on that side, and then we'll put the cup on here, and it'll just pop it a little bit and make it stand out with the straw in. All right, now we can just adhere this to the inside of the card. And I didn't pop this one up either, just regular, right smack in the middle. And it's going to be covered up because of this flap up here. So there. Oh, I got one more thing. The Navy and Sahara Sand Baker's Twine. So all you do on this is wrap it around twice. This is retiring, and this is such a good masculine color for cards, and it just adds a little bit of something. So we're just going to tie it in a knot. No rhyme or reason, doesn't have to be perfect. It can crisscross, sometimes that's even better. And then trim them down, let's see, I went down about maybe 1.5 inches or so, like that. And one last little touch here. I wanted, you could leave it like that, but I wanted it to be kind of unraveled a little bit. So if you just take a little pin and just kind of start unraveling. Actually, I think I did my finger first and just kind of untwisted it the opposite way like that. Okay. Same with this one, like that. Then when you're done, you know what? I need my needle that does not have glue on it. That's the one that I stick in for my, so my glue doesn't clog. And that's how you unravel it, like that. Just kind of pull it apart. All right, let me show you the finished one. It just takes a couple minutes to get that, but see how it unravels like that? So there's your finished card, and I think any man in your life, whether it's your husband, your dad, or your son, would enjoy this, because this is every man's dream right here. Well, thank you again so much for joining me, and have a wonderful weekend, and we will catch you again next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.